Welcome everybody and good happy race day to you all. We are here today at the wonderful Interlagos circuit near Sao Paulo in Brazil for the next round of the SVR Championship. Just having practice at the moment. You can see one of the early Senna liveries here for the TRF team. And we have driver standings for you right now. Hopefully I'm going to get through the standings for you, but if not, we'll pick them up again after the race. This is Tequila Monkey on top with 81 points, but only 1 point ahead of Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith. We have 90 Trez for TRF on 77. Arya is on 66 points, and Woe Grizzle is on 54. Four teams represented in the top 5 drivers. Then we have QT on 45 points. Revelit has 37. Jose Diaz 33. Zad Soldat moved up 1 place to on 30 points to Vicinity's 27. Then we have Mario on 21. Soulshock on 18. Beragos on 17. And Enigma on 9 points. I believe we've got some substitute driving today as well, but we'll get into the meat of that shortly. I'm going to go ahead and assume this is still practice because, yes, I presume so. We've got a 10-minute sprint followed by a 10-minute qualifying, followed by a feature race. The Teams Championship sees Azul Racing have 147 points to Tamiya Racing Factory's 122. It's tight at the top still. Then we have on 117, just 5 points away, we have Darkside Racing. Yet to breach the triple figures, we have Cabbage Corp on 93, Skynart have 43, just 1 point ahead of Vortex, with the all-new Buccini franchise renaming on 31 points. Welcome to everybody who is here to enjoy the race with us. The race, we have this one ready for you. Good evening to Sut and also to Floydy there, as well as AJ, of course. Lots of cheering here for AJ, and we've got Scavvy to come apparently in the previous race. Well, I shall look forward to taking care of the previous races, the Division 2 S2 level later in the week. But here we go for the race. We've got reverse championship order for the sprint race before we then have a separate qualifying session. So we're going to have Beragos and Soulshock at the front of the race. Now watch out for Beragos, because he's no slouch. He's just joined us late. Here come the lights then for 10 laps of Interlagos. And it's dropped the clutch and go. A nice little lurch away from the start there from Beragos, and it looked like the third place driver, that was Mario, dropping down quite quickly as we get Skynet going side by side. In fact, one of the Skynet drivers being speared across, and we have a further spin in the rest of the field, but it's looks like it's Beragos from Vicinity at the head of the field. That Skynet driver got himself in a good position. Then QT in the Senna livery TRF car is in third position, with Jose Diaz down the inside into the first major braking zone at the Decido del Lago, and it looks like Jose Diaz for Cabbage Corp getting himself up and ahead of the orange and red-nosed Skynet car, who has managed to survive here. The Soulshock just dropping down slightly, but it's Jose Diaz getting up there pretty well to start, with 90 Trez as well leading the championship, and is already up from the back of the field up to P5 as he goes past in his hopefully lucky Senna livery. Down into Pico de Pato we go, and it is an absolute melee in this first lap of 10. The driver's not saving anything here because they can sprint this entire thing through, and Arya moving forward as well for the championship leading Azul race team. And I know that Arya has got interested parties watching today as well. Beragos leads us through the first lap ahead of Vicinity, and then QT bringing up the third position, closing into a chance at the Skynet driver. Behind him, Jose Diaz for the Cabbage Corp team is in fourth position with 90 Trez, the second of the TRF cars, all the way up into fifth place, as I mentioned earlier. Then Arya in sixth, just snaking the car around a little bit, still struggling to get those soft tyres switched on and ready, as we have the gorgeous camera angles here down the Reta Aposta, the opposite straight, as it were, into Decido del Lago, and we've got some manoeuvring going on between the two Darkside Racing teams. They have reversed positions now, with our Spaniard Sith drivers First of all, Vader, though, up into 8th position. Not quite as fast moving through the field as 90 Trez, who seem to have got an absolutely glorious start away from this start of this race. As he continues to fight left and right, this time goes up the inside of Grizzle into Bico di Pato and then into the left of Pinerino. We go through Maggiolo now, underneath the Recaro signs, and he's significantly ahead. Up ahead of him, though, his main championship rival at this stage, 90 Trez, getting a good run here, tucked up tightly behind the Azul racing car of 90 Trez. Remember, no fake DRS here on Super VoRmula Racing, just the push-to-pass button as they so wish to use it, and out onto the grass goes 90 Trez. Very risky, and certainly fortunate that the grass is dry right now, but he's keen to make up ground once again, mashing that push-to-pass button. You can see it glowing red on the lower right of your screen, and following forward. But now we've got Jose Diaz, this is QT, having a go here for 2nd position into Decido del Lago, and it looks like managing to hang on to the outside line is Vicinity, and he's still got the inside for the next corner, but bravely around the outside goes QT, confident under the car, and in that new Senna livery. I think just a one-time Senna livery this is going to be, and dare I suggest that it is actually a far better realised version of what McLaren tried to do last year. That's a hot take perhaps, but I think it's a slightly nicer decorative approach here. I do rather enjoy it, as Aya is now queuing up to pass Vicinity, who is still trying to hold on to that 2nd position. They are fighting amongst themselves as our Finnish Beragos driver goes out off into the lead by a healthy chunk of racing, over 7 seconds of a lead for Beragos, despite the fact that he is at the foot of our championship right now. Side by side we run in pairs. After you, down into the Senna S for the 4th time of asking, Vicinity claiming the inside, and now it's left to QT to fight amongst with Arya here as to who will hold on to that 3rd position, and it is in fact Arya who's got it, but a good run out of the Estor Senna, and through the cover del Sol goes QT, now around the outside of Decido del Lago. This was the reverse of where he was before, but Arya claiming a very nice and straightforward racing line there with confidence through the corner. QT starting to look perhaps a little bit desperate to try and pass here, going all off the line and basically succumbing to drivers coming back from behind here. Now we've got Jose Diaz trying to just guide Vader to the outside of the circuit. Vader won't take kindly to that, and may have to deploy his various armies to try and get that position back. But just nervous, I think, Vader, of losing too many points here in a midfield battle. Just ahead of him, Tequila Monkey and QT run side by side. Now Tequila Monkey, he is, remember, first place in the championship. He started at the back as a result of this reverse grid, and is up to 4th position with less than half the race having elapsed. But while he does this, you know Beragos is drifting further and further away from these main battles. Side by side, Arya now into 2nd place, and a cleaner pass that time from Vicinity. Arya will be able to get a good run out of the Curva del Sol, but he doesn't appear to be using his boost to quite the same effect as Vicinity, who will run deep down the inside, and he's 2 wheels on the grass is Vicinity, and it looks like he might be about to lose out to our championship leader, who runs side by side once again. Here comes the championship leading 90 Trez car, Tequila Monkey round the outside, and we have then QT trying to get in amongst it once again. Bit of a half in, half out kind of a move there from Tequila Monkey, and it's so difficult to try and make these passes stick, because this is such a glorious racetrack for passing, as still Vicinity trying to resist these higher up the championship drivers from passing him over and over again. That looks like Vader past QT. Vader scything his way through beautifully past QT as well. And now the new order at the end of lap 5 is Beragos from Arya, from Tequila Monkey, then Vicinity, Vader, QT, Jose Diaz and Revelit, your top 8. So we have the Dark Side Racing team in amongst the mix, and around the outside of the of Vicinity tries Vader, tucks back in. He'll have a poorer run through the Curva del Sol though. So look to Vicinity, look to QT for a good run here on Vader. who has been a force to be reckoned with, if you'll pardon the pun, so far in this season, winning the first round, winning the sprint, winning the shakedown, winning the previous round as well, to this one, round 5, but Vader now into 4th position. Important points here, but more important than the points on offer for the sprint is losing points to your championship contenders. So staying with your main championship rivals, the real goal here of this, because the difference in points is not particularly great unless you DNF. This is Jose Diaz in the Cabbage Corp car, chasing hard. He's got Woe Grizzle just 2 places behind him. We've got a yellow flag on the circuit. I'm quite sure for whom that is being waved. Oh, we've got a car way off the circuit there. Who is that? Well, this looks like now Woe Grizzle. Was he off on the infield and then on the outfield? Potentially. I think it might have been. We now have Solshock, Bedsley Mario, Zad Soldat it is that's parked. That looks like someone who has had a wheel failure, potentially for Zad Soldat. Potentially a mechanical for car 22. Beragos, though, in the lead of the car, in the lead of this race by 7.9 seconds. And as I spotted earlier on, he does have a significant amount of speed underneath him. It's just that he hasn't been able to amass the same amount of points. He hasn't taken part in the same amount of rounds as everybody else. Great result on the cards at the moment for the Azul Racing team, with Aya ahead of Tequila Monkey, which is reverse of their championship position. Tequila Monkey 1 point only ahead of Vader in the championship, and 1 place only ahead of him here. So will we see a reversal of the positions for the Azul Racing team? Potentially, but it is early days in our season, so maybe a bit too early for the Azul Racing team manager to go for it and make a big and unpopular call. I'm afraid, Hassan, your message has been retracted, so you may need to rephrase it slightly, or try again for us. But welcome here to the broadcast. We have Beragos in the lead. Aya, Tequila Monkey. There's a good gap between the two of them. Things have opened up a little bit here, with now QT down in 6th position, looking for Revelit to come through next. There he is, the Dark Side Racing second driver at the moment, and 90 Trez picking up a penalty as he runs through behind Woe Grizzle. So he's a little bit slower than he was before. 90 Trez down into 9th position, somewhat appropriately given his name. Jose Diaz and Solshock will contest this 10th position now, as AJ is cheering on the Dark Side Racing team. I wonder if AJ has got a vested interest here. I have to learn all the drivers in our S2 division. But that would be my suspicion. That's a bit of a slide there from Solshock. The car gets unloaded mid-corner going through the S Docena and Curva 1, and unfortunately that was a nice little sideways slide moment. Good to catch it as Mario is in the pits. Unscheduled pit stop, probably picking up some damage there, and Zad Soldat still stranded and not been recovered yet from our trackside marshals. I think, like I say, that looks like a mechanical there for our Zad Soldat there, the host of the S2 division as well, as I seem to see, as the neon yellow accented Beragos comes through to complete lap 8, start lap 9, and he still has a 5-second lead. Has he spent a lot of his push to pass? We will see. It's coming through the order then. Vader in 4th with Tequila Monkey in 3rd. We've got Vicinity in 5th. We have QT coming down and into Curva 1 in 6th place, with Revelit in 7th. Grizzle running through the order now in 8th position still. 90 Trez holding on to 9th. Jose Diaz and Solshock, and all the gaps have inconveniently spread right out here for us. So looking for a good battle perhaps, but perhaps the closest one here is Vader closing in on Tequila Monkey, and this is important for the championship, so we'll stay with this, I think, for the time being. 1.5 seconds apart here. Vader uncharacteristically has used a lot of boost, but so he will be pleased to see, if he does listen in, pleased to hear I should say, that Tequila Monkey has even less push to pass remaining on the car. The soft tyres are fading here. It's a good test for the drivers, but of course they'll have to run those full tanks of fuel in the feature race as well from the start. So it's a good test to how the softs will behave under heavy fuel conditions, but the conditions that they run the softs may be different in the race dependent on their decisions. It's the final lap for the drivers. Vader 1.7 seconds away from Tequila Monkey now. That does look like he might be slightly out of reach. I think all our drama has maybe happened already here in the race for us. So we shall see now as Vader spends the remainder of his push to pass. Turbo fully spooled up, of course. Needs to keep those revs high for as long as possible through the corner on these turbos. As we run in then as Beragos. We'll give him some decent screen time here, Beragos, because we've had to ignore him for the most part. 3.8 seconds is Beragos' lead as he's going to come through, I think, and make sure that he secures this feature race win. The sprint race win. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Apologies for that. But taking the Super Formula Honda car here. And we'll be heading up and along Subirados box out of the Gonçalves corner. This then for the sprint race will be Beragos with the victory for our sprint race, and very, very well done from Beragos as well. Just disappeared out front. Arya takes second ahead of his championship leading Tequila Monkey in third position. A little bit of controversy there perhaps between the team. Vader is in fourth, Vicinity fifth, QT will come through and take sixth position. He may have been hoping for more earlier in the race, but manages to survive it. Car 87, Revelit for Darkside comes through in seventh, so that is a good result for the Darkside Racing team. Where Grizzle comes through in eighth place, then we follow with in ninth 90 Tres with the special Senna livery. Here comes the Carriage Corp team captain of Jose Diaz, car number 24. You can see the Mexican flag on his nose, and he has Mexico written on the rear wing from behind as well. We have Solshock in 11th place, and he's moved backwards in the race somewhat. Mario rounds the race out in P12, but Zad Solar will not cross the line. He'll be waiting for the tow truck there that have left him there for a long time. But this then is your winner from the sprint. It is Beragos. So we'll be heading into qualifying then for our main feature race shortly. Thanks, AJ. And Z Chris is cheering on Cabbage Court, which is great. Welcome, Z. As we just finish up the race, of course, Zad Soldat will have to run to time and be timed out here. So just fans of late 90s F1 will recognise the helmet on Beragos's driver here. That is the Flying Finn himself, Mika Hakkinen. And he's even got the period-specific tobacco sponsorship on there as well. So very good helmet replica for Beragos, channeling his compatriot, and I'm imagining his hero of the 98 and 99 world champion. There he is with pole position, clean race. Beragos, easy from the front perhaps, but clearly had decent pace there to finish some 4 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Beragos from Aya from Tequila Monkey, Vader and Vicinity, your top 5 then, with QT, Revelit and Woe Grizzle. We'll be hoping for slightly closer gaps towards the end, but I think things got a little bit scrappy in the middle. We had 90 Tres, Jose Diaz, Solshock, Bedsty, Mario in 12th with Zad Soda, DNF, and it says still running, but he's definitely not still running. He hasn't been running for some time. He'll be hoping to have fixed whatever mechanical issue took place. A disconnection from his wheel, perhaps, but he did appear to be looking at the situation quite uncomfortably there in the middle of the race. Well, we'll get straight on with it, it seems, as Zad Solda is going to be the first driver out in qualifying to take us through. I saw in the live chat there, when is qualifying? And the answer came very quickly from our host and league manager, QT, now. We will have a 3-minute break though after qualifying. Let's ride then on board with Zad Solda. We'll just check out how far away Tequila Monkey is. Well, Tequila Monkey quite fancies a cheeky tow here to start his lap out. I wonder if he will bail here or go for broke for the full-on overtake as we head down into the Curva 1. This is going to get messy for both of them, but Zad Solda through the Estor Senna now and into the Curva del Sol, and we're on a time lap here. Oh dear me. Now Zad Solda is going to have words, because and I'm not super impressed with that either, because I wanted to see a proper one. That was the end of the practice session. We are going to get underway, it looks like. So Zad Sodat keen to get back on it. It looks like it was just the qualifying, the practice session, and we'll get out there for our main session now. Hunters say the laps are always hot with Bo Grizzle behind the wheel. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Definitely taking your fandom very seriously here, and we'd love to see that too. That's sold out. That's I believe that's what's called the Verstappen line around Decido del Lago. Oh yes, I did go there, and weaving around then and getting some tyre temperature into car 22 and the Buccini car here, which is the new name for those of you coming back to the championship having missed the previous round. Buccini have taken over the franchise of the Team Safred car, and we will no longer be referring it to as such. This is now Buccini with the Italian tricolore and slightly darker livery indeed than our Dark Side racing team. So I wonder if Dark Side need to do something about that, but I won't continue to bang that drum. Team liveries are exactly what they want them to be. Nintendo says let's go TRF in their special livery. Let's have a bit of love for this special Senna livery as well, shall we, as Zad Sodat is on track. We only have 10 minutes for this qualifying session, so the drivers really do have to get on with it and find some clear space. We'll be hoping no one comes out of the pit lane as he peels through the S do Senna and now the Curva do Sol. Building up, you can see flat out through there, the aero working hard. Anybody behind? No, we're okay. Wait for the braking point then, somewhere around 70 meters it seems, and unfortunately that is a quick turnaround for Zad Sodat. Beragos will take over the mantle as he runs through Decido del Lago down the short straight towards Ferradura and La Rojinha. And here it is then. Some very careful throttle management needed as we head into SA corner before the left of Pinerino. Again, just building through the throttle nice and carefully. The Pico de Pato, you may see some overtakes, especially after some restarts in there, and then into Mergulio. Not quite a flat-out corner. Yonsao is the last braking zone on the circuit, but only about a few meters away from the second sector. Timing beam cut off. Now it's full flat all the way through Subida dos Boxes, underneath all of the grandstands, past the pit lane entry, hook that pit wall for the shortest line to the start-finish line. And 1:16.6 for Beragos was beaten immediately by Vader and by Aya, it seems. We've got Tequila Monkey on the circuit at the moment. Zad Sodat went into 4th position. So where does Tequila Monkey go to? He goes into 4th place now. So some distance away, it seems right now, to Vader, his main championship rival. Here comes Zad Sodat. I think will be starting his main lap right now. Jose Diaz into the pit lane. Wasn't happy with that lap at all. Solshock's still out on circuit as well, but we'll ride this time with Zad Sodat and see if we can make it through the Decido del Lago corner for this trip through turn 4. As you can see, tall towers of Sao Paulo in front of us, as well as the occasional view of the favelas, the sort of slum district. This is Ferradura and into La Rojinha, and we may get a nice tow off the car in front if we can just manage this gap. That might be Revelit just in front of us on the circuit here, just gearing up, I think, for his fast lap. Revelit. Vader holds the lap record right now on a 1:16.2. Aya is second. Beragos is 3rd place after winning that feature race as well, and that is a personal best, no doubt there for Zad Sodat at this point. Now we are foot to the floor and just gently dialing in that steering angle as little as you can get away with here. The car in front just sparking through the corners. Zad Sodat goes 7th place. He gets a 1:44.4, but Mario has gone faster than Vader. Still on a 1:16.2. This is a 1:16.217 to Vader's time, which was only 49 thousandths of a second away. Tremendous stuff here. Well, let's ride with Vader then in the cockpit. Slight correction coming out of the first part of Decido del Lago. And heading in then to Ferradura, waiting for a lap time update. Just flirting with track limits there on the exit of SA corner. Down into just using third gear there just to halt the traction of the car slightly on exit. Not needing it through Bigudi Pato. And it's a purple sector for Vader. We're going faster, the track is improving too. So Vader hoping to take his Dark Side racing car back to pole position here. Can he do it? There's no car in front to get a tow from. He'll be using the boost button as much as possible. Almost rubs the pit wall, and he goes faster, this time only by 14 thousandths of a second, and it is getting incredibly tight out there. Tequila Monkey really needs to find some time. Here he comes towards the line now, and Tequila Monkey goes third. Just will slot in just behind Vader, Willie, but Vader's time has been corrected. He's back down to fourth place. Aya is at the top of these standings there and has gone faster by 35 thousandths of a second and has got within the 1 minute 15s. So 1:15.2 for Aya. Beragos is second. Tequila Monkey is now third. Vader only fifth right now, and that is 90 Tres into the pits. Let's see if we can ride perhaps with someone on a faster lap. I imagine Vader just managing that boost throughout the session. Just 3.5 minutes, just under to go in our session. Let's see, is QT out? He is. QT in the special yellow Senna livery here. There you saw the yellow chevrons. That is going to hurt our drivers on the if they pick up track limit penalties or contact penalties during the race. Here comes QT to cross the line. No improvement this time, just an outlap for QT. His outlap pit box seems to be significantly down the pit lane from the start-finish line. Aya sets another new record and goes fastest once again. Aya, a 14.9. Amazing lap from Aya. So, with QT now putting in a personal best time, can anybody get on board with Aya and Mario's times at the front of the field? QT will be hoping to gain certainly at least 2 seconds here. His lap time is 3.1 away from provisional pole position. Let's see what he can do then. Winding up through the gears nicely into Bico di Pato and into Megulo corner. You know, deceptively difficult Megulo corner, and it sets you up for the timing sector. It sets you up for the braking point of Yun Sao, which in turn is absolutely important. It's more important to be slow in for Yun Sao and fast out and get on that throttle as soon as you possibly can for this long flat out section. QT goes up to 10th position, but he's still 1.9 seconds away. Who have we got on track at the moment? Here comes Vader towards the line, half a second away from pole. Will that change? Not this time. Not this time. Aya's lap, a 1:14.9. Teammate here, Tequila Monkey, just straddling that exit curb. Might have hurt him to the tune of about half a tenth, perhaps, getting down on that throttle. He's using too much curb on the run uphill here. Everything that hurts your momentum going up. But he goes to third place, does Tequila Monkey. I don't think he'll be happy with his lap overall, but he's very close to Aya, 1/10 of a second only away, as is Mario, and there's a gap of just 17 thousandths of a second. Mario's happy, he's done enough. We've got a couple of drivers still coming out of the pits. Here comes Beragos though. He's got a good lap. Oh, he's just had to really correct there, and I think he's going to park the car now. There he goes into the pits. So we won't see a faster lap from him. Will we see anything better from Vader? That is a personal best from Vader. Oh, and it's just too much. Vader spins the car round, and unfortunately that will be the lap. Done and dusted. Who is left on track to try and put in a lap? 90 Tres has got that opportunity. I think Jose Diaz may have too. I think 90 Tres might be the last one on the circuit. Let's try and find the drivers who are still circulating to finish off their laps. Aya crosses the line, no faster from Aya. Vader has gone through. We know he had a problem, so it could just be in the hands of 93 now. Aya, Mario, Tequila Monkey and Beragos, the top 5. Vader down in 5th, but I'd expect that to change pretty quickly during lap 1. 93, that looked like a good exit from Yun Sao corner. Just working up through the gears. As soon as his steering angle is gone, another one, and up to 6th shortly. Over the line, and 93 settles into 6th position just behind Vader. Couldn't improve that time out. And there is your qualifying order for the feature race, which will be 19 laps. We've also now got a change to the racing conditions thanks to the new rate of balance of power situations that have happened with the handling model. It's now 10 times tyre wear, 6 times fuel wear. 60 litres is your initial fuel, and it's 6 litres per second refueling speed. So it's Aya for the Azul Racing team who gets the pole position. A really good run from Aya then, coming ahead of his championship leading teammate in the sprint and then beating him out to pole position as well. So Aya on top, 1:14.9, with Mario in 2nd position by 1/10 of a second. So was Tequila Monkey, with Beragos out 3.5 tenths of a second away. Then in 4th place, Vader is in 5th. 93 is in 6th place, with Jose Diaz in 7th and Vicinity in 8th place. Revelit took 9th, QT took 10th. We have Woe Grizzle and Soul Shock, and Zad Soda couldn't improve from his sprint finishing position. Will start the race for the Buccini team, all new Buccini team, you have to say. So not a big surprise as they get themselves settled and comfortable with new personnel and new sponsors. Buccini team down in 13th position. We'll have a 3-minute short break, might only be 2 minutes now in fact, and then we'll be back for you for the feature race. Well, I was expecting to have I read the wrong message, didn't I? I was reading the message for the S2 division, so the conditions are actually different to what I said. Conditions are stable for our top tier of racing. 35 laps await us of Interlagos coming up. We're on our way now, guys, and if you're watching with us live, let me have your prediction then for the race. You can predict the podium, but you can only choose 3 drivers. No hedging bets here to be had as we get ready then for our race. I will try and organise the screen in time. It's not easy to get everything together in time. Let's just check out our tyre selections. Looks like we've got softs for Vicinity. We've got 5 lights. We're ready to get underway, and it is ready to go for round 6. And it's drop the clutch and go, go, go. Vicinity away at the head of the field. That's questionable. So shouldn't have been in first position unless times were adjusted later on. Vicinity out on the grass early. His teammate struggling in behind as well. Vader leads us out of the first few corners. Vader into first position. Mario is in second right now as Tequila Monkey streaks up into third position, and we have some side-by-side, some 3-way action into Decido del Lago. Any contact perhaps? Not quite. And Tequila Monkey then into second place. Mario into third place. Looked like it was Vicinity who had his problems earlier on. Revelit has launched up the grid. I wonder if someone has, if the grid start was not entirely correct. 93 is in 5th. Zad Soda has made it up to 6th place with Grizzle in 7th. But Vader leads us by 2.4 seconds. I wonder if maybe qualifying result wasn't exactly accurate either at the end, as far as my look at everything was concerned. 35 laps await us though. Qualifying not quite as essential in those conditions. Vader and Tequila Monkey on the soft tyres. So is Mario. It looks like the soft tyres were inspired as Revelit also in the soft. So is 93 and Zad Soda. Yeah, it definitely looks like the mediums have been the ones that have suffered. Aya is limping around this circuit. He's got damage to the front of the car, and he's going to have to do something about the handling of that car and come into the pits. Here he comes, crossing the white line on entry. Might pick up a penalty. Jose Diaz has had a problem as well. Looks like we've had a major problem from the start of the race there, as some cheering on of Vader we go. But it's Tequila Monkey who has the second position at the moment. 2.8 seconds between them right now, but it did all really kick off there through the start of the race. It's Vader, Tequila Monkey, the usual suspects at the head of the field, but can Tequila Monkey get back on terms with Vader, as Woe Grizzle is in 6th position and hunting down 90 Tres there in the slightly jealous, I think, of using the green and yellow colour scheme, because those colours definitely belong to the Cabbage Corp. 90 Tres sliding around the outside of Revelit, who had a problem on the outside there. Let's have another look, shall we, at Revelit's issue, as he came super wide, it looks like super wide into the Pinorino corner, and that allowed the rival to get right up and ahead. So that was the situation for Revelit. Tequila Monkey's in second from Vader. Then comes Mario in 3rd position, as we watch Revelit try and chase back that 4th position that belonged to him just a few minutes ago. But it looks like Bo Grizzle is getting on terms with Revelit as well. Zad Soda up from the back and into 7th place on the soft tyres. Definitely the soft tyres were the tyre to start this race on, it seems. But they, of course, will have to pit sooner than the drivers who started on the mediums. Those were Solshock, Beragos, QT started on softs actually, so did Arya, and of course, well no, Arya started on the mediums and came in for damage repair. That's Jose Diaz going around the outside of Arya. There he goes. So Arya definitely struggling at the start of this race with a few nerves or a few problems, not comfortable in the seat at all at this stage, but he's now fighting side by side. He doesn't want to go from a sprint race win to finishing outside of the points here at the end of our race, but Jose Diaz managing that defence very nicely, and hard fought over these two. I think they've already perhaps come to contact, because they've both pitted once and are on different tyres, but they started on different tyres too. So looks like this one is going to get a little bit tasty, as Arya perhaps just mounting the curb slightly too adventurously there, and is caught off the racing line now. Needs to be a bit more patient. Bank, oh, that looked like contact potentially between the two once again, I think, I'm tempted to say. Let's just try and get a better view of that action as they head towards the right-hander, double right-hander really, of Bica Di Pato. They're going to close in, and yeah, definitely some contact. So it could be that Jose Diaz might feel a little aggrieved. Maybe it's it's giving back what he's had before. We'll see as things shake out later on. But Vader's lead now, 2.1 seconds. Tequila Monkey starting to reel him in. We have 90 Tres in 3rd, and just looking back from 90 Tres, it's a 2-second gap to Revelit. These all drivers on the soft tyres from the start of the race. That is Woe Grizzle getting very sideways, coming through the Bico di Pato. Looks like it's low grip through Bico di Pato right now, and into into Yonsao now they are. And behind there we've got Zad Soda hot on their heels. AJ saying that was intense. It certainly was. That start was very, very tasty. We're going to enjoy the rest of the race as much as possible. Here comes Zad Soda though to use the slipstream potentially. Once you've got that slipstream, you might go for a little bit of push to pass as well. With Grizzle holding the inside line, but it is 2 lefts to 1 right through here. But he manages to hang on for now anyway. This is Zad Soda's view from the cockpit. Of course, all drivers, you may not know, but this is a PSVR2 exclusive league. So all drivers are locked to cockpit position from the VR helmet position as well, and that does make life really, really difficult and frantic. It is a very different situation, and that is Woe Grizzle having an issue. Let's just again have another look at Woe Grizzle. I think he just helped himself to that accident as he went to turn right into Ferradura. Just overspeed slightly, lost the car out onto the grass, but rescued it without touching the barrier, thankfully, and back onto the racetrack. But just losing that 1 position, Woe Grizzle, but won't please the fans of Cabbage Corp, who are usually here in Legion. That is Revelit, and that looks like 90 Tres. Oh, I thought he was coming into the pits, but that was very early. It's lap 5 of 35. They do tick by very quickly here at Interlagos. It's a very short circuit, 1 minute 20 average race laps. And Tequila Monkey is now continuing to hunt down Vader without using too much boost and picking up the best sector on the track so far of the race, and that is a purple sector for Tequila Monkey as he tries to now reel in Vader. We'll join him on the Apex cam. This is a better view than the drivers have, but the motion is somewhat similar to their PSVR2 helmets. Right down to first gear. That's pretty brave from Tequila Monkey, using first gear in these Super Formula turbo cars. Why do I say that? Well, the turbo naturally has lag anyway, and so the torque will come down after you've pressed the accelerator, and that leaves your recovery time a little bit reduced. I think now Tequila Monkey just getting a little bit of dirty air effect here, and just losing slightly to Vader on that lap. That's out to 1.7 seconds now, so little distance between them at the moment. And we have 90 Trez in third. He's a bit on his own now with Revelit in fourth. Zad Soldat has now gapped Wood Grizzle thanks to that little moment earlier on. A nice three-way battle developing though. Mario in seventh. Vicinity here for the Skynet Racing team is in 8th place. We have Soul Shock for Skynet behind him. And so these three will now try and do battle over that 7th place that currently belongs to Mario, and all of them on the soft tyres. Mario has a touch of damage on the front wing. You can't see it on the car, but I can see it on the car display at the bottom left of the screen. Little flashing red on the front wing, but it's not hurting his first sector too much. That's a personal best for him as they now try and run this through. We've got Soul Shock sitting quite happily here on medium tyres behind his teammate who's on the softs. Soul Shock, I imagine, just trying to stay with these drivers on the softs for now, but shortly those soft tyres will become the worst of the two tyres to be on. Of course, the wear rates are greater on the soft tyre. They last longer, last a shorter amount of time. And the chrome glinting off the Brazilian sunshine here beautifully on the engine cover of the Skynet Racing colour scheme. Still feel like I want something extra on that nose. Some sponsorship or graphic of some sort, but I'm a stickler, so you have to forgive me for that. Vicinity is in 8th place, sandwiched between Mario in front and Soul Shock behind his teammate there. I think that if we go back up the field, this looks like Revelit, nice and close to 90 Trez in front. Just see him in the foreground, but also Tequila Monkey has got underneath 1 second behind Vader. Tequila Monkey now turning the screw and applying the pressure appropriately enough as Vader. They're on similar wear rates on their tyres, similar fuel of course, because they all started on full tanks of fuel. And now it's all about just a battle between the two of them. Can they make it into a one-stop race? Will they be forced into a two-stop? Will they have to just have a period during this race of a little bit of fuel conservation if they want to make it a one-stopper and minimize their stationary time? Sometimes it's useful just to put 2 seconds of fuel in if you are pitting the once and not have to save fuel in the race, but we have organised it so that the drivers have not got quite enough to run flat out for the entire feature race. Getting to about the sprint distance now. Drivers were still able to handle those soft tyres quite nicely at the sprint distance of 10 laps, so we should be okay. Zad Soldat's in the pits, and so is Woe Grizzle though. That's going to move drivers up in the order nicely. Got some people popping in and out of the lobby there accidentally, but Tequila Monkey is now in 2nd place, and it's just ebbing and flowing between the two leaders here. Look at their lead, their combined lead over the rest of the field. 14.7 seconds over 3rd place after 9 laps. These two really are head and shoulders above the rest of the field in this circuit configuration. But that was Vader just kicking up some dirt into the helmet visor of Tequila Monkey. Could be deliberate, but may well not be. always hard to tell when drivers are pitting here as well, because they cross over the pit lane entry on the way in, just on a normal racing lap. 1 second separates these two great championship rivals so far in our inaugural Super VoRmula season. We've got 90 Trez. He is 1.5 seconds away from Revelit. That hasn't really changed since the last time we saw them. Now further back we do have a little battle going on here, and that is sprint winner Beragos down in 10th on relatively new soft tyres, and he is 1.7 seconds ahead of Grizzle in 11th place. Grizzle also just fresh out of the pits on a new set of medium tyres, and it looks like has put a little bit of fuel in the car as well. That's Mario in the pits as Grizzle's teammate and team captain Jose Diaz comes through, and he will, I would imagine, get past Mario in the pits there. Salsora still running this time, has fixed whatever problem happened to him before, picked up a 1 second penalty, but he's still out there and on the lead lap just about. So different lines going through to cross the start finish line area there. Spiridos box for both Vader and Tequila Monkey. Kind of look quite odd the way the two of them go. Looks like Vader just braking himself slightly into turn 1, into curve 1, through the next corner, and he's now on the defensive here against Tequila Monkey. They will touch going through the corner. Tequila Monkey just yielding at this stage, but Vader definitely had to defend that one very hard into the Ciudad del Lago. Still now just trying to hug the apex and dissuade a move coming. Tequila Monkey almost having to use Vader as a braking point, an extra fifth brake on the car, the rear diffuser of that car in front of the Dark Side Racing car. But as all racing are very much a force to be reckoned with this season. Gap opening slightly thanks to Vader getting down on the power nice and early. Now I wonder if Tequila Monkey is headed into the pit lane. Not this time. He's not really picking up much of a tow until this stage on the main straight. But it's certainly got very, very tight. It looks like Vader again very late to the apex, if at all, through curve 1. That really is allowing Tequila Monkey to close right in here. And here we are on board with Tequila Monkey again. Oh, a lot of movement on the car. That got quite risky there for a moment for Tequila Monkey. And then Vader just tends to use the apexes and hold the inside line through this middle part of the racetrack, but he's just causing himself no end of problems into curve 1 each and every trip they go through there. So we'll look back from Vader's car, try and see the braking zone coming for curve 1 this time. Into Yonsal though we go first of all. The gap is pretty tight here as they brake into Yonsal. Now should be that Tequila Monkey will get a decent tow this time, and he steers towards the pit lane, but actually it was Vader going into the pits. Tequila Monkey goes through, so it denies us the chance of watching another great battle between the two of them, but they will put on a little bit of a difference there. There was about half a second between the two drivers as Vader goes into the pits. Tequila Monkey then needs a terrific lap here. He can use everything that he's got left in the tyres, but not a scrap more than he's got available to him. He needs to be able to get this car at the highest possible speed to the pit lane on this lap. Using some overtake now as well. He's light on fuel, he's got the soft tyres on. Vader in comparison will be slightly heavier, potentially will have put a little bit of fuel in. He's got 78% fuel on there, so I'm pretty sure he has put in some fuel. Vader. Now Tequila Monkey, depending on his fuel consumption, could consider here short stopping for track position, being the lead car, but that costs you a little bit more fuel. for the rest of the race. We are only into lap 13 at this stage. Surely now Tequila Monkey will come in, and he doesn't know how long Vader stopped for. How long was Vader stationary, unless he's got incredibly keen eyes. So braking heavily. Well, it didn't seem to brake at all for the pit lane there, but such is the Gran Turismo setup that it didn't seem to hurt him. But Vader then coming on through. And this needs to be a good lap from Vader, but he just needs to avoid an error on this outlap on new tyres, but new medium tyres now. So trying to make a one-stop work, excuse me. He'll try and run 22 laps on these medium tyres if he can, because he has fueled enough. Well, we've got Tequila Monkey out of the pit lane. We've got Vader very wide going through curve 1 again. It looks like Tequila Monkey with that outlap has managed to extend the gap to 3.5 seconds from half a second only. Tequila Monkey didn't appear to fuel that pit stop, so he's got track position, but he has got less fuel on board than Vader. Will that come to bite him later on? We shall see. But now Tequila Monkey, your new leader on lap 14 from Vader by 2.8 seconds, 2.7 seconds. Vader has those tyres up to temperature, but isn't going to bother Tequila Monkey too much, because he now has that track position. Still on the starting tyres is Solshock, up to 4th place now, and on those mediums from the start of the race. He will of course be able to use the softs when the soft tyres are best, which is when you're on low fuel conditions later on. We've got Revelit in P5. He's on newer mediums, so he stopped recently. Oh, and a big slide from Revelit coming on through the Pico di Pato corner. Oh, and a massive slide. That was 90 Trez all over the shop that time. Let's see 90 Trez get it wrong. He's fighting hard into the corner. Was that a problem with the... no, it was actually trying to take advantage of Revelit having his own problem, but getting a little bit ahead of himself there, kind of getting excited to pass the corner. And unfortunately for him, that was a problem for 90 Trez. Aya and Beragos into the pits. And so that means we've got drivers much closer now, as QT is right behind Jose L. Diaz. There's someone here headed for the pit lane, I wonder. Well, this is QT on new medium tyres. Jose Diaz in a similar position, but with some damage on the front and front right. So QT might be able to get a better trip through the fast corners. First 3, definitely. Perhaps turn 5 and 6 as well. So QT just 1.96 seconds away from Jose Diaz. Jose Diaz not defending to the inside into Decido del Lago, and in fact holding his own there, as QT didn't fancy a run, didn't fancy a go at him. Tequila Monkey still leads from Vader, with Solshock now into 3rd position thanks to the pit stops of other drivers. These two have recently stopped and are going to try and take these cars home to a finish here on a 1-stop. You can see QT taking those different lines, keeping Jose Diaz guessing in the mirrors. Puts himself on the outside. That's a risky place to be. You've got to hope for some cooperation from the driver you're trying to overtake if you do that, and you're relying on them not making a mistake as well. But sometimes that driver doesn't leave you any option. QT is mashing the overtake button. Surely he'll get the pass done here as he goes slightly wider, try and get the turn in. Huge violent dash out to the side goes QT, and they'll run side by side down into curve 1. QT going to have to get a brake out on the marbles, and oh, beautiful overtake from QT. Still had to do it on the brakes. Still, it's a little bit dicey between the two of them, and it looks like they're going to hold on. I'm going to try and capture that overtake once again, but they come back, and Jose Diaz straight back down the inside, and a great defense. Fantastic driving from these two. Really, really sharp driving from both of them. Let's try and catch what happened there. This was the exit, the tail end of that do-si-do maneuver between the two of them, and that was Jose Diaz patiently getting through and back into the lead into Decido del Lago. great sequence from these two, and I wonder if they'll go for it again. Vader now, why is Vader in the pits? It's for a second time. That is unscheduled from Vader. I wonder if he's had a problem. Let's try and catch what happened to Vader. It's maybe a bit early, but yeah, some damage on the front and front left of Vader's car, unfortunately for him, and that is clearly been off the circuit, unfortunately. So Revelit, his teammate, is now in second place. I'm going to try and see what's happening with Jose Diaz and with QT still, because that was developing into quite a ding-dong battle. And that is then Jose Diaz still leading, fairly close to home. Jose Diaz in Brazil, our Mexican driver today, might be the closest he gets to home. I don't think we've got a Mexican around, but maybe we have a California round in the WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca to come. I'm not sure. We shall see. But QT is in 12th position. Jose Diaz is in 11th. Let's go up through the order as the gap is open between those two. Sprint race winner Barragos is down in 10th at the moment. We have seen this as a bit of a pattern with Barragos. Once you get into race management, seems to be his main weakness, but in sprint races and qualifying, he is a force to be reckoned with. So some training, I think, for race distances for Barragos, managing the car over a stint, perhaps needed. And Zadsoda is in 9th right now on medium tyres, and putting in some good laps. Here is Woe Grizzle, another great Cabbage Corp driver, close to another, and he is close to championship runner-up at the moment, Vader, and previous race winner Vader, who has been out. He's actually had to come in twice. He clearly had damaged the front of the car. Now, it's unusual to hit the barriers here in Interlagos, so it may have been passing a car under blue flags. I think he was too far away from Tequila Monkey, but I can't rule that out. Vader has had a problem at this stage of the race. He's had to pit for a second time, so he's going to be pretty cross there and trying to make up those positions. His main championship rival, Tequila Monkey, provisionally could be taking home the win here. Aya is in second, it is in 6th place, and the second of the Azul Racing Team drivers, and he's now just ahead of Vader, so could do his teammate a bit of a favour here. Aya, he's on a very similar strategy now, similar age and compound of tyre to Vader. In front of them we've got Soul Shock for the Skynet Racing Team, out on the marbles there with Vicinity in that 4th place. Vicinity going to go for a move here on Mario, but Mario blocks to the inside. I should say legitimately defends. It wasn't a block manoeuvre, so he definitely is defending hard to the inside for this podium. And Revelit, unusually here, ahead of his teammate and in 2nd place provisionally here as well. It looked like Mario getting a little bit out of sorts, out off the racing line, but it hasn't hurt him too much. Revelit is 31 seconds away from Tequila Monkey, who now, surprisingly enough for him, is going to be in a position to kind of stroke the car home and start managing the gap. I know that he didn't refuel to the same extent that Vader did earlier on, so he won't have to manage the fuel load too much, but he might have to do a little bit of fuel management here, because he's got the gap to be able to do that. So it's really just a race against himself here, against making any major errors. Here comes Soul Shock. We've got Vader to the outside into Curve 1. Vader comes through into 6th place, or defends into 6th place, I should say. Soul Shock. Oh, Mario! That was Mario with a problem, unfortunately for him. So Mario has had an incident. Where was that, I wonder? It must have been into Curve 1. Let's see if we can't see Mario's error. Was it just a simple outbraking situation, or just power down? Still waiting for that issue to come. I haven't got the wrong car, have I? This is Mario into Descida del Lago, Touch a curb, maybe. Don't know, we seem to be locked into a strange situation there. But Mario down to 9th place now, with a 1 second penalty on the car as well. This is Vader, just ahead of Vicinity. I wonder if that has just happened as well. Let's have a look back and see, did Vader get through and past? Oh, that was Vicinity making an error. That was Arya through as well. That's what happened. So down in the order runs the Skynet driver Vicinity, and now Vader has Arya very much in his sights, going for the overtake as soon as he can, I'm sure. What a save by Vader, but he certainly got on the throttle a little bit early, and that gives Arya a couple of corners of reprieve here of the pressure. Gap just half a second as Vader clearly pushing very hard and can afford to with the fuel and the boost and the new tyres that won't be life limited to the end of the race. But remember, Tequila Monkey in the lead of this one by a very large margin, thanks to whatever happened to Vader earlier on that caused the damage and the additional pit stop, the unplanned pit stop. However, if other drivers do have to make a second stop, of course Vader will be in a good place potentially, but 4th place, still not a bad finish, but certainly much lower than he was hoping for earlier on today. And it's lap 21 finishing, lap 22 beginning for these two. So plenty of opportunity for our drivers still to make the difference here and close out this race to success. It's Arya in 3rd place. He's trying his absolute best here to hold off Vader as he goes to the inside, as he has every right to do. Vader to the outside, then round the outside of Desira de Lago. Arya just trying to guide him out, but he doesn't want to cross the eye of the stewards. He's just snuck ahead, but they touch. They definitely touch through there. And I'm sure Arya going to be feeling a little bit aggrieved. We'll stick with this one because Arya's going to try and hold on all the way to the inside, and he gives it back. I think that was a little bit of driver's justice there, but it didn't help Arya. Vader into the lead of Arya, at least into the podium positions provisionally. Let's see if we can just catch what happened between the two of them. Round the outside, Arya was trying to stick it out, really tried, just stuck his nose in there, and I think Arya just backed off, knowing that he probably got too much of a contact than he was hoping for. Here is Arya going for it once again, just managing to stay with Vader, and we'll see if he goes for a dive bomb into turn 1. Might be better to try and just put Vader off. Arya going wider than Vader, who really is struggling in curve 1, you have to say. And AJ saying great back and forth there without being dirty. Yeah, they just stay within the line, didn't they, of acceptable driving. Arya struggling for exit there. I think that was because he was on the inside line. And into Desira de Lago we go once again. Vader just outside of track limits potentially. And Roberto Cervantes is cheering on Jose Diaz. Good to have you with us, Roberto, once again. As Tequila Monkey leads this one from Revelit, and now Vader, Darkside Racing, 2nd and 3rd. Azul Racing, 1st and 4th. Tremendous between these two championship rival teams, and championship rivals as well, Vader and Tequila Monkey. Our second fiddle drivers at this stage of the championship, definitely in the mix as well. Arya winning the sprint just a few moments ago. It is lap 23 of 35. Tequila Monkey leads by a good, 35 seconds now from Revelit, who is 5.4 seconds up the road from 3rd position. Vader right now, and then Arya's in 4th place. I wonder, we didn't see a reverse. I'm claiming Arya as the winner of the sprint. It was, of course, it was Beragos. Arya came 2nd in the sprint, but I wonder if we will see a championship position team order coming up for Vader and for Revelit to swap positions. They won't do it if Arya is too close. It's too risky for the team. But we'll see if that builds to a problem there later on. 1.2 seconds this gap has opened out to at this stage. Aya just recollecting himself and ready for another push. The vicinity, he made the mistake that allowed them both through. I think that was through Young Sao a couple of laps ago. Beragos, sprint race winner, and now into 6th place, doing a lot better, but some 50.8 seconds away from 1st place at the moment. We've got Zad Solda in 7th place, definitely having a better feature than he had a sprint, and we're Grizzle in 8th place for Cabbage Corp. Canadians 8th and 9th, with Soul Shock behind him. 90 Trez, kind of nowhere tonight, really. 90 Trez, by his high standards, this is an unusual one for 90 Trez to be down in 10th position, but I do want to give a little bit of love to this beautiful livery, and we like guest liveries, we like special liveries here for our racing teams, especially if they hold some identity and some commonality with their normal livery. But that's pretty sweet. I think that's better than the McLaren one from earlier, from last year. So, but that's a matter of opinion. Zad Solda's in the pits, off his medium tyres that he started on. And then we've got Mario in 11th, not for long I don't think, with QT. They're in 12th position. We have Jose Diaz at the tail of the field at the moment, but on new soft tyres. Jose Diaz 1 minute 54 and a lap down away from the leader, but he's got 18 seconds to QT at this stage. Tequila's Monkey lead is out to 39 seconds. It's going to be 40 soon enough, and we've had a problem for Revelit. Can we catch it on the replay? Are we in time? This is Revelit. Potentially, did he slow here? He's let Vader through. Controversy here, but Vader has been allowed through into 2nd place, and now Revelit will try and hold up Aya, I feel, and protect his team leader. So, like a TIE fighter going out in advance and defending Darth Vader's tail. That is the role of Revelit right now. As then, of course, Vader will go in for the kill later on. But Revelit definitely receiving a team order there, I feel. And it's early stage here with 9 clear laps to go, plus a bit. As Aya is still 41 seconds ahead of behind his team leader, Tequila Monkey, out there. So Vader's gap is 40 seconds. That's a nice little attempt from Aya down the inside into Bico di Pato. And hats off there to Aya. Really nice manoeuvre. That was one of those really late ones. He sort of built through Pinerino, got a good exit, and then thought, right, I'm having it. Sent it down the inside. Oh, was there a touch of contact? Potentially. But his car was certainly front axle overlapped rear axle. Whether he was fully alongside is questionable. But yeah, he certainly had a right to a go at the corner. The door was open, I would suggest, but we've only watched it twice from different angles. Aya slipping back behind Revelit again. now they keep going. Looks like that was into turn 1. Here comes Aya. Revelit leaves the door open into Decido de Largo. That means that Aya can brake later and claim the apex on the inside. Just aim for the exit of the corner. And Aya's back in front then and into 3rd place. Doesn't want to see Vader disappear too far up front. As far as Aya is concerned, there is still the potential for a Team 1-2 on the cards. But now your order on lap 27 is Tequila Monkey from Vader, from Aya, from Revelit. And it's all turned about face, but Tequila Monkey remains at the head of the field. Beragos is in 5th place and only 7.2 seconds away from Revelit and Aya. So possibly this race is coming to Beragos. As he started on the softs, he's gone on to the medium tyres. He's got 1/4 of a tank of fuel left for the remaining 8 laps of the race. Should be good to a finish. As Aya just slightly less fuel on board. That's Vader putting a lap on the Cabbage Corp driver, which I'm assuming is Jose Diaz. That wasn't a battle for position, but Vader has yet to really make any inroads into Tequila Monkey's lead, and Tequila Monkey, of course, hasn't made whatever error or contact that Vader made earlier on, where it forced the second pit stop. But Vader is now one position back from where he was before that situation, and 39 seconds deficit. So he now needs to just put on the pressure and hope that Tequila Monkey comes into the same kind of difficult situation that he was in earlier on. Aya has definitely gapped Revelit, but can he hang on and stick with Vader? Well, it's 3.3 seconds now, the gap between Aya and Vader. Revelit, same strategy, but clearly not able to run the consistency of Vader and Aya. But he definitely had a good run of it earlier on in this race. Blue flags for the team. I think that's for Jose Diaz as they come through. Nice to see Jessica. Welcome to Super VoRmula and round 6 today. We are closing out the race and getting ready for the race you usually tune into in a just under 1 hour's time today. Beragos is in 5th. We have Vicinity in 6th, and no one is in the vicinity of Vicinity. So 14 seconds in front, 11 seconds behind is Grizzle, who has a 4-second gap to Soulshock. 90 Trez is down in 9th position. Zad Solda in 10th after his pit stop. He's out on soft tyres to see the race out. Then we have Mario in 11th, who had a spin earlier on, and Jose Diaz getting the black flags and being passed by now 3rd place Aya. So Aya clearing that blue flag situation, but he's still got a fair distance to Vader in front, who, having done that lap action earlier, he has obviously been able to just drift away slightly from Vader. Thanks AJ, appreciate it. We are enjoying the race, no end. I hope everyone watching the race today has hit that subscribe button and does make sure that you like the video on the way out. That's really appreciated. It makes a world of difference, I have to say. I think I've got about 40% of my regular viewers are not subscribers, so let's correct that situation if you possibly can. And as I say, really do appreciate it. If you can bring anybody else to the channel or rewatch the races, all of those are huge for me at this point in my career, so really appreciate any help you can give. Well, Grizzle is in 7th place, and he is 1 second away from Soulshock. This could develop now into one of the great late race battles we see so often here, when the strategies kind of converge and come together. Thank you, Scavy. Thank you, H, or Scavy as it is. I'm looking at your icon instead of your name, but thank you, Scavy, for that. Soulshock is closing in, and who else have we got close together on circuit at the moment? I think Aya and Vader might be close. Oh, Soulshock with a little mistake there, just cost us some issues, a few seconds. So let's see, we have got Mario, and who is behind Mario? I know that's Mario on the back of Zad Solda. No, that is Jose Diaz. It's just some cars being lapped causing the problem. Then we've got Tequila Monkey's gap is still 38 seconds. Look at the boost he's got, the overtake, push to pass, whatever you want to call it. He's got half his boost remaining. Vader's been good at conserving that as well, and both drivers will now start using that, I'm sure. Aya still 4 seconds away from Vader, so he wasn't the car that was just behind Vader on the circuit there. Vader is working through the lapped cars at a faster speed here than Aya, who's now looking very secure in 3rd place, ahead of Revelit, who's lost 7 seconds since they spent 2 or 3 laps battling each other. Beragos is 1 minute down, so may fall victim. It's unlikely, but may be lapped, but I don't think so. Our sprint race winner here. Vicinity is in 6th place. We have Soulshock, we have 90 Trez in the beautiful Tamiya Racing Factory colour scheme, suddenly putting in a personal best time from 90 Trez on worn medium tyres. I think that's the fuel effect, and a driver just keeping themselves focused by putting in their best laps. But you do question at this stage of the race, where was the pace earlier? 90 Trez But 8th place right now has obviously picked up a position since the last time we went through the order. Webbo, do I know the stats for Tequila Murky? That's some great spelling, Jessica. If you're looking for our standings, I can tell you that. I haven't got the full range of stats available to me, but before the it's 4:20 somewhere. Fair enough. Before we started the sprint race today, Tequila Monkey was on 81 points to Vader's 80, 93 on 77, and Tequila's teammate Aya on 66. Now Aya will get in a very close position to potentially 3rd place in the championship here. That's definitely going to be on for him. Here comes up 93, then chasing down Soulshock as we close out this fantastic Super VoRmula race. We've got 93 in 8th place, and he's 1.1 seconds away from Zad Sora. Now, look, how gorgeous is this game? I mean, this really is something else. And AJ saying it's always 4:20 in Canada. Well, there you go. We're not quite as progressive as the Canadians over here in the UK. I believe Jessica's in the UK, but yeah. As Jessica says, good for you. Certainly not our situation in our very regressive UK at this stage. Here is 93, half a second away only. Scavi says, a visit is due, you mean? Well, maybe. 93, half a second away only from Soulshock's going to go for it, I think, very, very soon, but he's going to have to get on with it. He's got loads of overtake remaining as well. Could have been using that for some time. And here we go. Now we mash the button. Now we go to the inside. And that is super close with each other. That is flirting with danger. But down the inside goes 93. Great pass from him. And I think it was so good, we will see it twice. So let's ride on board with Soulshock as we come round to see. And it was pretty close there in the end, but a good pass. And you have to say Soulshock was a little bit compliant there. Didn't want to lose the points he's got on offer here today. It's lap 34 for the leaders. They've already crossed the start-finish line. Tequila Monkey has now extended that gap back out as he's trying to get the fastest lap, I think, away from his teammate Aya. He's got the benefit of a tow coming up as well. That was a slow lap by Tequila Monkey's standards. Aya has overtaken Vader. Now, that is potentially another error for Vader. Can we catch it on the replay, I wonder? No, I don't think so. Apologies, folks, but Vader has had a second issue in this race, and Aya is now definitely on for a 1-2 for the Azul Racing team, and they're going to be incredibly pleased. So Tequila Monkey 40 seconds ahead of his teammate Aya. Vader down into 3rd place. Could be a 3-4 for Darkside Racing, when at one point it looked like Vader was going to be in the hunt for the win here today. So this is going to be a slightly red-faced Darth Vader, and that's not just, and there you say, rear damage on Vader. So could he and Aya have come to contact perhaps? But they were so distant from each other that seems like Vader must have made a mistake at some point, or had it coming together with a slower driver, perhaps. I say Vader probably red-faced, and not just from his lightsaber. Here comes Tequila Monkey to complete round 6, the feature race win for Tequila Monkey. That will be great for his championship, as his teammate Aya is going to lift himself up the order as well. His main rival in the championship at the moment, 93, will significantly outscore him, as 93 has already crossed the line in 7th place. So is Vicinity and Soulshock. So Aya is in this 2nd place. As Reese says, we have to double Saber. Okay, fair enough. But his name's not Darth Maul, so I have to be strictly accurate to Star Wars lore. Here comes Aya, 41 seconds behind, but a 1-2 for the Azul Racing team. Fantastic result. Absolutely brilliant result. It looks like Vader has ended up being passed by his teammate. Can we just check that one out as well? But no, Vader, unfortunately, has been passed by his teammate. It's that rear damage on Vader's car. So it is going to be Reveille ahead of Vader. Now, why didn't they wait and let Vader through? Beragos will be the last to cross the line, but he will be fifth. It's just the way Gran Turismo works. It's quite confusing. But Beragos crosses the line in fifth place. Good result from him, winning the sprint, fifth in the feature. It all came together in the end, but it was definitely Azul Racing Team's day today. 2 places up for Tequila Monkey. He gets first position. Let's just make sure we save the replay before we look at the final result. It's Tequila Monkey first, Aya second. With the fastest lap, Aya held on. Reveille in third and Vader in fourth. So an Azul Racing Team 1-2, a Dark Side Racing 3-4. Beragos is fifth for his team. Then comes Vicinity. That's Vortex for Beragos. Vicinity is in sixth. 93 in seventh place. And then Soul Shock in eighth. Just finishing things off, we've got Zad Soda in ninth. We're Grizzle in 10th. Jose Diaz in 11th. 12th is Mario. And QT is 13th. We've got some spell corrections coming in. That is what I meant, Reese. But Jessica has a reason for misspelling today. We have Scavvy as well. Thank you so much for that. And to AJ. Thanks, everybody, for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure today. We'll catch up with this league's S2 later in the week on a on-demand view. And I'll let you know when we're going to go live on that one. We'll see you later on this channel for the next race as well to come tonight. But from Super Formula Racing's S1 division and the round 5, we will. Sorry, this was round 6. You've got me all confused now. It's round 6. We will see you for round 7 on this one. But for now, folks, thanks so much for watching and for liking the video and subscribing today. Really appreciate it. This is Webbo saying I will catch you on the next race day.